Hello guys, thank you very much for joining in. Hi, this is Ganesh Naik. I help financial professionals students to excel in their career and become better with themselves. And I also help students preparing for the FRM and the CFA exam. We have with us one of our students who has been able to clear the exam in the last November 2020 attempt for Level 1. We're going to be talking to him about his journey, what are the challenges he faced during the entire preparation, and how he was able to manage the success in the FRM Level 1 exam. So we have with us Dhurvin. Thank you very much, Dhurvin, for taking out time and talking to us. And for the benefit of the audience, if you could tell when did you started your preparation? What was the background then for you?
Okay, so hi, I worked in JP Morgan. So when I enrolled first in June 2020 for FRM for November batch, that time was my experience was about 4 years in bank. Not about I was not in risk profile, but still I was keen to learn about risk modeling. So I enrolled in 2020 batch, but at that time there was COVID. My preparation was not up to mark, and that time online classes started. It was new for me to focus on online batches. Yeah, still I cope up with that, but anyhow, I didn't clear in first attempt. That's why
That attempt was
one
in January 2020.
Jan 20, yeah, because exam got postponed due to COVID
Right.
in November batch. So in January I took exam, but my preparation was not up to mark. There are multiple reasons. COVID was there, festivals were there at times, so I didn't clear. For me, subject food was very difficult for me to understand. Okay, so I took break for 1 year. I didn't rush that I want to clear in second attempt. So I took break for 1 year. And again I enrolled in 2022 and I gave November exam.
So you started your preparation for November, which one?
May.
And when you started out, did you remember anything about the content? Because there was a gap.
Yeah, I remember everything. That time I took only video lectures of you.
Right, but did you remember the content?
Yes.
That was there. Okay, take it.
Yeah.
And how did you tackle now in this attempt? Did you focus on book 4 first, or did you focus on any other book?
First I focused on book 4. I gave almost 2 months for book 4 subject only. Book 4 and book 2.
In that 2 months, you were watching the video, solving the question bank also for that.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay, and what was the comfort level once you completed that 2 months?
Was confident that 70 to 80% I can attempt for book 4.
Okay, wow. Okay, so primarily you started in May, and by June end, or so July end, basically, you can think of this July mid or July end. You were only
June end I completed book 4.
June end you completed book 4. Okay, and then what was the which next book you picked up?
Book 2.
Okay, and how much time on an average you dedicated for it?
40 days.
40 days. And all of these, when we are talking about all of these days, how much time on a per day basis you were setting to prepare?
2 to 3 hours per day.
Okay. So in that 40 days, again, you watched the video, read the content, and you solved also.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. And what was the comfort for book 2?
Book 2 for that covariance stationary variance. Still I couldn't answer the question properly. Yes, time series. Okay. That's all probability solver. I can understand and I can solve the question.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. And then after that, which book you picked up?
Then book 1 I completed in 20 days only, and then book 3.
Okay, and everywhere you are following the same pattern that you picked up one book, and I think so. I mean, for the benefit of the audience, why Dhurvin took entire one book and he was not following a particular, because it was a second attempt, so he knew the chapters, so that's why he was directly going to the book. So that's okay. Now by when you were able to complete all the 4 books entirely with solving?
By mid-September.
Okay, and what was the strategy after that?
After that, I solved 2 mock papers, all Shweza's questions. Then I had 1 question bank that I solved, and then I went for revision.
Okay, and what was the score that you were getting in the mock papers?
In first mock papers, I all around 60 questions right, 40 were wrong. Then in second, it was 75.
Oh, wow. Okay. So on an average, you were getting around 60 to 70 questions right in
Yes.
the mock papers. Now,
Yeah.
before you went for the exam, from May till the November, what was the number of times you have gone through switches?
2 times.
2 times on your own. And watching
Yes, on
video
your own.
also, one full coverage was happening. So roughly 3 times.
Yes, 3 times.
Okay. Okay. And did you just, wherever you were getting wrong answer in the question bank, did you made a note of it and you went back to those wrong answers, or you didn't get time to do that?
No. Whenever I give wrong answer, I research, I saw your videos, note it down, and solve it again on my own.
Okay. So you made a note that wherever it is wrong, I'll go back and check that question again.
Yes.
Now, when you were going for the exam, on the day of the exam, what happened on that day? In the sense, the first 1 hour, how was it? And can you compare it with the first attempt?
Yeah. So this time exam not sure, but there were question which we thought that this subject is least, this chapter is least important from that question came.
Okay.
In first attempt, starting 1 hour there were practical question, then theory came. And this second attempt, starting 1 hour only theory question were there. More of theory question. There were less practically this time. So this was,
Okay.
and FRM not sure that every time this is, but this time concept or exam was different than first.
Okay.
And there were question where we can see that all answers are same. We can, all 4 options answers we can give.
Okay. And on an average, how many theory, how many calculations were there?
For me, it was 60 to 65% theory questions were there.
Okay. And 35 calculations. So what was the performance in those 35? Were you able to get all right?
Not all right, but yeah, 25 to 30 I gave it right.
So you prepared for the formulas beforehand and
Yes.
made sure. And those calculation-based questions, the 35 questions, were majority of them straightforward, formula-driven?
No. This time they asked to calculate formulas also. So in first attempt they already given this is there, you have to just put formula and answer. Now we have to calculate formula also.
Okay, that was one change that you realized.
Yeah.
That's the pattern. Okay. And what about the theory? So you said 65 theory. So out of 65, how much confidently you were able to solve?
90% I was confident that I will solve all
when you
theory
say
questions.
confident, it means you read the question, you understood what is there, and you looked at the option, you were able to solve.
Yes.
Wow. This is good. Because normally what happens is a lot of people, they fail in that section because they are either not sure of the 2 options, or they find the question very tricky or very lengthy.
Main reason will be that they think book 1 is very easy, we can take it, and they miss to read the concept properly. That's why.
Okay. So basically the underestimation of the book 1. So while you were preparing, you made sure that book 1, you were giving a lot of time and focus for the preparation. And in your first attempt also, book 1 was very heavy, was very tricky.
In my first attempt, book 1, I took it lightly. That's why I'm saying.
Okay. So you learned from that you should not underestimate book 1, and then you change your strategy. Okay. And were you able to complete all 100 questions properly in the exam and within time?
Within time, yes. Because I left exam 30 minutes prior and I attempt all question.
30 minutes?
Yes.
Wow. So basically in 3.5 hours, you were able to solve everything. You were able to check the questions again.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. And when you came out, what was the number in your mind that, okay, I'll get this much correct out of 100?
I thought I didn't thought that book 1 I will get first quartile, but rest was, and book 4 I thought that I will get in second quartile, but not sure what happened there.
Okay, but was there any number in your mind that, okay, out of 100 I'll get 50 correct, 40 correct.
60 to 65, I thought it will be correct. 60 to 65.
Okay. Now,
10
the
to
result
12 I give.
Mhm.
10 to 12 I give. I was not sure about, so I just random answer.
Acha, at the end, you were, acha, out of that 100 questions, 10 to 12 questions were, you were not aware about it, or basically
Yeah.
you thought, okay, primarily
There
those
were-
questions were
Yeah.
difficult questions, which they had put in. to
2 or
waste your
3
time.
question I thought that it's from book 2. Not sure if it's, but I didn't saw in book 1. 2 or 3 question.
Okay. So that's a normal trend. I mean, what they generally try to do is, institute, they will give you certain difficult questions, which will ideally waste your time. So if you're able to smartly identify those questions and put it at the end, then it will be easy for you to clear the exam. Now, what was the quartile that you got?
So in book 1 I got first 1, 2, 2, 3. Book 2 second, book 3 second, and book 4 3.
Perfect. Now, when somebody comes to you now and asks you what should be your strategy for preparing for FRM Level, what is that strategy from your experience?
So strategy will be first I will take that they need to be clear about the concept that they want to make career in this, then only, and before enrolling they should research about the subject, concept, chapter, then only enroll for it.
Okay. Any other tips from your side?
Any other
How
tips
to
will be-
prepare for the exam or
So if you see in YouTube, there are so many videos that you have to give so much time within this month. This much chapter should be clear. If you if you don't rush it, go slow. Okay, take time from any of the subject. You will cover later, but don't rush. And if you're clear about this chapter, then only go forward.
okay.
Concept should be clear.
Concept should be clear. Perfect. And you also focused on the question bank solving part.
Yes,
Then what
correct.
you doing?
So next time, if you don't get time for revision, also you should be clear that you can give this answer from this chapter. Concept is very important. Understanding is very important.
Right. And that is why I think so. When you mentioned that at the start, you had some memory of the previous attempt. You knew something about it. Okay. Perfect. And now what has been the
And another will be that if you are already enrolled for the exam, then don't quit in middle of it.
give your best shot,
Just
basically.
give it. Don't quit. That I don't have time. I have office, and that don't give. Because first attempt when I give that time COVID was there and I have enough time. We were at home only. But this time everything was normal. Went to office 12 hours. I was out of home. But still, it's possible to clear it. So don't quit in middle.
Okay.
Just give your
Perfect. This point was very important because you have so many reasons. Normally, people have so many reasons
Yeah.
to quit, but very strong 1 or 2 reason will make you stick to the exam. And this is what normally happens. If you push yourself and give time, you will clear the exam. Like you mentioned, you talked about the COVID experience and when you're working.
Yeah.
Right. You were able to clear while working also. So you could have
First attempt I have cleared. Yes.
That's clear. Okay. Wonderful. Now, what has been the reaction of people around you, or your friends, family, and office people?
Yeah, friend, family, everyone were happy. They were quite surprised because first time I had enough time still I think, but this time I clear, so they were quite happy. Colleagues, office friends, all were happy. Congratulations message were there, everything.
Wonderful. I'm also very happy, Dhurvin. And definitely, this is going to be very, very helpful for you in the career that you are aspiring to be into, and getting into good roles, getting into good connections because of this certification is going to be very helpful. And I'm sure this interview will help a lot of other students that who suppose could not clear the first attempt. They can also learn from you and still clear the exam in the second attempt and go for it properly. So wonderful. Thank you very much, Dhurvin. Thank you for your time. And thank you for talking to us.